What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to Maps Exposed. This is the series where I share all of the lines of sight, jump spots, as well as any other sort of secrets that I know of on every map in Black Ops Cold War. And in today's episode, by popular request, we're going to be covering Checkmate. And let's just kick this off with the middle of the map, the plain area of the map. And the first spot I've got for you guys is to challenge these people that'll sit up on this desk as you come around this corner to challenge them. And in domination especially, if you want to capture the B flag, you have to take them out of this position, otherwise they'll just contest it constantly. And for most people, it's a very dangerous thing to try and wrap yourself around the corner to attack them, because then you expose yourself to the stairs there. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is these people are incredibly easy to kill, because you can just shoot through the plane. It's super easy. Anytime you come up here, if you expect somebody's over there, just spray a few bullets through somewhere between these four windows here. Just sort of spray around till you get a hit marker. If you do get a hit marker, keep spraying and you got yourself a super easy kill. Now, another really nice wallbang spot here is through this wall right here. This is a really thin wall that you can really easily shoot through. You lose very little bullet damage, even with an SMG, and especially on an opening route. People really like coming through that doorway right at the beginning. So what I often like to do is come right up here and just start spraying through here, and sometimes I'll pick up an easy double or even triple kill through there on people that have no idea what hit them. Now, this does work going the other way as well, and a really nice thing here is we actually get a perfect indicator. Where this arrow is, anything left of this arrow, you can shoot through. Anything to the right of it, you can't shoot through at all. So once again, if you're coming through this area, just spray a few bullets right through here to the left of this arrow, and if you get some hit markers, keep spraying, and you'll get yourself a nice, easy kill. Now, it's also worth noting you can really easily shoot through this wall as well. That one's fairly obvious. And then another thing that I really like to do, when the enemies hold that side of the map and they like to head glitch the stairs here, in order to challenge those people, what I like to do is I'll maybe give it a quick little peek this way so I can get my height lined up, and then I will start spraying through this wall as I come around to challenge them, and I'll often get a couple hit markers on them first through the wall, which will force them to either back off or it'll force them to come out of aiming down sight, and then that's when you actually come around the corner and challenge them. And I find that just to be a really effective way for challenging those people, because if you try and challenge them straight up, they've got a huge advantage there because they have massive cover and you've got literally nothing for cover. Now, additionally with this plane, if you have people that are camping up on this desk or they're somewhere over in that area there, a lot of people don't realize that you can use these windows to your advantage here. Now, of course, you're really exposed to this side of the map, so this is usually just a quick peek spot, maybe pick off a quick kill and then move on from there. But I do use this from time to time, especially if people are camping in there and I want to come in and cap the B flag. They almost never expect this at all. Next up, another really common camping spot inside of the plane here is behind this chair right here. People will just sit here like this. And once again, we can shoot through this plane like it's butter here. And all you have to do with this one is you want to aim somewhere between these back two windows until you get a hit marker. And then once again, just keep spraying once you get that hit marker. I also quickly want to mention, if the enemies are holding the B flag and they're contesting it and they're coming from that side of the map and you know they're not over here, that means they're probably in this room right here contesting this flag. So they might be sitting in this corner here or just sitting somewhere back in this room. And once again, you can really easily just spray through this plane. And once you get that hit marker, then it's pretty easy to find out where they are and continue spraying them. Next up, I got a nice little line of sight to challenge people that are camping on that box right there on the wing of the plane. Instead of trying to challenge them in the open here where they have the height and cover advantage on you, a great way to pick them off is to come through this area right here and then just peek through this little crack right there. They can really only see like a couple pixels of you, and in a realistic situation, they're not going to see you at all here, and you can really easily just pick them off through this crack. Now, it is worth noting that that spot is symmetrical. If the enemies are on this barrel right here, it's the exact same thing. You can just peek through the doorway over here, right through this crack, and there you go. Once again, great line of sight onto those barrels. Next up, I got a great time saver to get yourself up onto this wing. Most people, they'll jump up on this lumber, and then from there, they'll jump up here, and that's fine. That works just fine, but it does take a little bit of extra time, because all you have to really do here is aim for this green pole right here, and you can jump directly up onto the wing like that with just one jump rather than two. Now, on the opposite wing here, I've got sort of a similar thing, although with this one, you do have to expose yourself a bit more, so this one's definitely more risky. But from this side of the plane, there's really no way to get yourself up onto the wing. There's no really obvious method for getting up here. However, what you can do is just wrap yourself around the side of the wing a little bit and then mantle up from there. You are really exposing yourself to anybody that might be hanging out right there, but it is far better than coming all the way through here like this and then jumping up on the scaffolding here. Now, next up, I got a couple lines of sight to counter the people that are on that head glitch right there. That is an incredibly powerful position. It's really difficult to pick them off of there because they have such good cover, and they'll get a bit of a height advantage from any challenge point, like on this barrel here, for instance, or if you try and come around one of these corners, they're just going to destroy you. So I've got a couple different ways to counter them. If you've got more of a closer range gun, the best way to challenge them is going to be to jump up here like this, and then just slowly peek your way over the top, and you can kind of head glitch over the top, and now you have the height advantage. Next up, if you have something a little bit more accurate, what you can do is hop up onto the pallets here and then crouch and hug the wall over here as far to the left as possible. And there you go. You'll get a nice line of sight on them there. And they don't typically expect to see you over in this area. And then finally, if you got a sniper rifle or something that's extremely accurate, you can come all the way back to this area right here. You do have to be aware of this side of the map. But from here, you can really easily pick off a nice line of sight on them right through there. Now, getting over to this platform area right here, people love hanging out right behind this and using that as cover. And I just wanted to show you a few different alternatives for getting up here because it can be very helpful in-game instead of coming all the way around to the stairs here. A lot of people think like, oh no, you can't quite make that jump, but you can make the jump from here really easily to challenge those people. You can also do it from this side over here pretty easily. And on this side, it's pretty obvious that you can do a double mantle to get up here, but I've just got a bit of a more efficient way to do that, and that is to aim for this part of the plane right over here. Takes a little bit of practice, but there you go. Once you get it, then you can do it in just one jump rather than two. And it's the same idea over here. Instead of doing a double mantle on here and then up here like this, if you aim for just this part of the plane right here, you can jump up all in one jump. Now, if you're pushing in toward the enemy spawn here and you have enemies that are going to be in that area there, instead of challenging them out in the open like this, one thing you can do is just come over here, hop up on that, and there you go. Nice little line of sight through there, and they don't normally expect that at all. Next up, I want to show you a few lines of sight to challenge the people that are camping behind that wall right there. That's a very common camping position. And one thing you can do is come right back to this area here, just hop up on this toolbox, and then you can use this as cover and then just strafe out as you're crouched, and you get a great line of sight onto that area over there. My controller is kind of freaking out right now. I got to get a new one. But yeah, you can see right over there, you can pick them off through that way. Another alternative, this one's a little bit crazy, and it does take a bit more effort to set up. But if you jump up here, you can't mantle directly onto this because then you'll just go right over top. What you have to do is jump sideways onto it, and you got to catch it just right. But once you get up on top of this board right here, you can just look right over top toward them like that. Now, finally, another great line of sight, and this one is super practical to challenge those people, is to simply come up on these stairs right here and then just slowly ease your way up, and there you go. You got a perfect line of sight on them, and you can control exactly how much you want to expose yourself to them as well, which is really nice on these stairs. Now, over on this side of the map over here, if you want to challenge somebody that's on those barrels right in that area there, you could challenge them from here, but that's a 50-50 fight, which we like to avoid. The better way to challenge them is to hop up on these barrels like this, and then when you're crouched, you're completely hidden from them, but as you stand up, you got a great line of sight through this little crack right here, and you can really easily just pick them off through there. Now, let's have a look at some counter lines of sight that I've got for you guys to these snipers that will just be sitting back in that red building over there. As you're coming out of spawn, a great way to check for them is to simply hop up onto the box like this, and there you go. It gives you a great line of sight on them there. All you have to do is crouch if you want to hide yourself from them, or just drop off the box, and it's a great way to pick them off there, or at least check for them as you come out of spawn. Another thing you can do if you have a sniper rifle yourself is come all the way back to these barrels right here, and you can jump on top of them, and from here, you can actually get a great line of sight on them, and they won't typically be looking this far back for you, so it's usually a pretty easy snipe. And then one other alternative that I have for you guys is to come up these stairs right here and then hop up onto this railing. And from here, you can just strafe out and you get a great line of sight. This one doesn't hide you nearly as well. It's just one of those spots that they're not normally looking in. Now, while we're over here, I just wanted to point out, if you're approaching this area here and you have enemies that are coming through that area, what you can do here is hop up on the barrels, strafe yourself over, and there you go. Gives you a nice little line of sight on that open area. Then I also wanted to point out that with these containers here, this one as well as that gray one over there, a lot of people know that you can hop up onto the barrel and then from there hop up like that, but you don't even need to hop up on the barrel. You can hop up directly on this, and this is definitely helpful in some situations. Obviously, you're exposing yourself to a lot of the map by jumping up here, but sometimes that's what the situation calls for. Next up, I've got a great line of sight to capture the people that just camp in this window right here if you're coming from this side of the map. This is also just a great check spot as well. As you come through here, you can actually look through this crack right here and see that window really nice and clearly, and you can pick those people off in the window, or at the very least, like I said, just use it as a check spot. Now, sometimes if you're spawning back in this area here, you'll get sort of trapped by a person that's hanging out in that area there, and it can be difficult to pick them off if they're a really good player because you don't have too much cover against them. However, one thing that you can do to challenge them is to jump up on top of this container right here, and then there you go. You can look right over top of this, and this is something they almost never expect, so you can really easily pick them off there. Also, from up in this spot, it is worth noting you get a great line of sight to those barrels over there. Moving on, I've got a line of sight that you can use with a sniper rifle to counter the people that might be camping in that area there. In my experience, they're not camping there too often, but I still wanted to show you guys this line of sight anyway. From all the way back in your spawn here, if you hop up onto these crates and look over top right here, there you go. You get a little bit of a line of sight to part of it. They do have to be sort of strafed over on one side of that area. But if they are over there, then you can really easily pick them off through there. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of Maps Exposed on Checkmate. As always, I'd like to hear from you guys in the comment section below. First up, what do you guys think about this map? And second, which one of the maps would you like me to cover next for this series? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.